What's good, beautiful people? It is your boy, ProGraps, your favorite wrestling, shit-talking stick figure here. And yes, this is another useless video of me rambling about something specific in wrestling. Mike dropped album of the year though, shouts out. Oh, and PG updates at the end of the video. So if you care, stay till the very end because I got some news for y'all. But yeah, hi, my name's Adrian, and I like wrestling. So quick question for y'all, right? What is the true definition of an underdog? Well, Google says, a competitor thought to have little chance of winning a fight or a contest. My definition? Same shit, to be honest. Every sport and competition got underdogs, right? Whether it's basketball, to MMA, to baseball, and yes, I'm using the Mets as an example, I don't give a fuck, to even rap, to like, I'm not gonna do football, all right? I don't know that shit, to even YouTube. Every source of competition has underdogs, and in our human nature, you know, we choose to root for the underdogs usually, unless you're a wrestling fan. A lot of them, I can't really vouch for. We're kind of weird with who we root for and who we switch up on. I don't know, it's weird. But to circle back, wrestling is the most perfect sport with underdogs and the biggest case of why underdogs are needed. And you know why they're so fucking awesome? Huh? Roll the new goddamn transition. Now you guys see the thumbnail, okay? We yapping about some underdogs and why they're the greatest thing since season 6 Cobra Kai. Look, I ain't gonna spoil it, but god damn, this show crack. Bryan Danielson versus Kenny Omega? Nah, let me get Miguel Diaz versus Robbie Keane. I need that shit in my veins, bro. But look, okay, I'm getting carried away. Rooting for the underdogs in wrestling are some of my favorite memories of being a wrestling fan, right? From rooting for Cody to finish his story, and he got matched up against the entire fucking bloodline, even bringing back The Rock. Like, the segments we got from this underdog story is crazy to me, and just, it shows how important it is because, low-key, I think this Cody and Roman story, in my opinion, is kind of what made wrestling mainstream again. I won't dive into that right now, you know, that could be a separate Grap Yap video, but I think Cody losing at Mania 39 was like the most daring shit they could have done. Just probably giving Roman the title during COVID just because of the underdog story we got from it, right? Him losing unexpectedly at Mania gave us the biggest underdog triumph since the other guy on the thumbnail, I won't say which one, but it created one of the best underdog stories and it helped create this huge, wholesome moment where all wrestling fans came together. And low-key, that's one of the biggest elements of underdog stories, like, and what they provide, you know? And you know who else did this though? Daniel Bryan. Now look, okay, I've said this before on the channel. I am not the biggest Daniel Bryan guy, okay? Like, the whole Yes movement didn't do much for me, okay? So I wasn't as into it as other people, but I can't deny though, he had motion. Daniel Bryan had motion, bro. I ain't gotta say too much. You guys already know, okay? He had the whole goddamn arena doing the Yes chant, and when he had everybody and their mom in the ring with the Yes shirts, motion. But look, what the fuck? Why do people love Daniel Bryan, right? I sure as shit didn't. But he was the people's what the fuck is this helicopter outside my crib? I don't know. Okay, whatever. Daniel Bryan was the people's underdog, right? He's the epitome of it. You got this guy. He gets a job where he has to compete with hundreds of different people that are 85% of the time bigger than him, right? For muscles, height, everything, right? So it comes to the point where you got to realize, yeah, he gonna get his ass whooped by this guy or this guy or this guy, which he did, but he kept going. Then this guy grows his hair out, you know what I'm saying? People start calling him ugly and shit. That's kind of fucked up. Then the corporate bosses he had were picking the other workers over him. They called him a B+ player and shit. That's not cool. And Daniel Bryan had the perfect opposition, in my opinion, okay? He had the corporate bosses shutting him down any chance he got. 9 times out of 10, that's a chef's kiss for an underdog story, unless you big dog. It is what it is. Now, people hate on this time period of WWE, okay, this 2013-ish time, which I get it, but low-key, the Authority, low-key, the best antagonist for Daniel Bryan's underdog story, and I'll tell you why. Because this is one of those human, relatable aspects in wrestling, right? I'm gonna dive deeper into that later, but Daniel Bryan's bosses fucking him over any chance he got when we see the potential in him, like, that shit is so relatable. We know how that shit feels. That makes us want to see this guy win, but he keeps getting screwed over and over and over again, which ultimately led to probably the biggest underdog moment in I'm not gonna say all of wrestling, because maybe there's someone out there that I don't know, but in WWE history, right? Daniel Bryan beats Triple H, then went on to beat Orton and Batista, these two legends that are bigger than him and have been torturing him, and he finally wins the big one and the other title, all in the same fucking night, bro. This shit was beautiful. I can't even lie. I wasn't a big Yes Movement guy, but even I can't hate, alright? This shit was beautiful, dog. Now, the reason Daniel Bryan is on this thumbnail, okay? Yes, it's for this moment, but also because of the irony of this thumbnail. First off, another PG thumbnail banger, my god. Megan Fox and Transform. But the genius of this is the fact that Bryan Danielson once was that underdog and that hero to people. But he slowly became the thing he hated, the thing that he envied, okay? Bryan Danielson became the bully to these two underdogs due to his legacy, right? This moment of Danielson winning only became a bigger part of his legacy, which led to the corruption of the Bryan Danielson character in AEW. Now, which one are we gonna yap about first? Let's have the wheel decide. Hangman it is. Okay, look, Hangman Adam Page is the epitome of the underdog in AEW, okay? And I know there's Darby Allin, alright? But look, Hangman, for me, okay, I became such a big fan over the past couple of years, and his entire story, just to me, is the epitome of the underdog story, right? Even with the character work he's doing now as this bully in AEW, like, it all culminates from this underdog character. The story of Hangman being in the Elite with Kenny Omega and the Bucks, which, if you haven't watched early AEW and you haven't seen this match, dog, please do yourself a favor and add it to the PG banger match playlist. Holy shit, 5 out of 5 grabs, dog. But look, the story of Hangman being in the Elite with his brothers, being tag champs with Kenny Omega, being at the top of the tops, but he would slowly start to lose everything, from his matches to his brothers to then even himself. The Hangman character of losing everything due to his addiction and self-doubt is one of the most realist and relatable things I've ever seen in a wrestling story, because I feel like a lot of wrestling stories kind of revolve around the same shit, right? The pageantry of, oh, I'm better than you, oh, I don't like you, you did this to me. But Hangman? Nah, he started to doubt himself because of his insecurities and anxiety. Brother, that shit is real. I doubt myself because of insecurities and anxiety. I ain't got ops, I am my ops. Yeah, I fucking know. Hangman will slowly slip into his addiction of drinking and alcoholism, and he's at rock fucking bottom, bro. But then he meets the Dark Order, you know, he slowly starts to open up to them and he starts to do his own thing. Meanwhile, the Elite turned heel during all this, and time passes. Boom, Hangman wins a #1 contender match to face evil Kenny Omega for the world title. The pop Hangman got from entering this match is fucking nuts, okay? Hangman was the people's champion, goddammit. I became a Hangman fan from this shit. This shit was awesome, bro. So anyways, he goes on to face Kenny Omega, the same brother Hangman once had when he was a tag champ. His former group of brothers that he lost because of himself are now back in the fold, and he has to face his demons and vices, literally. Meanwhile, Hangman built another family with the Dark Order, okay? But he was able to build himself back up because of friendship, trust, and brotherhood, dog. This shit is inspiring, bro. Hangman will go on to finally beat Kenny Omega in the middle of that ring, ending not only Kenny Omega's reign, but ending Hangman's trauma, bro. Beating his demons, and Hangman's new family will come in to celebrate, and they offer him a drink. And what does Hangman do? He throws the fucking drink out and embraces his family instead, dog. This shit is beautiful, bro. I could cry tears, bro. So now we know why Hangman's an underdog, okay? But who was his very first opponent for the title? None other than the People's Champion, former People's Champion, Bryan Danielson. Now, in my opinion, this is such a smart move to have the current on fire underdog in Hangman, in which, by the way, in the company he started, face against the former People's Champion and Bryan Danielson, who just came over from the other side. And not to, you know, jump into tribalism bullshit, but low-key, that did play a factor in the story, okay? Danielson even said the night after he won the titles at Mania, he defended it the next night, which normally these people would root for that statement, because like, fuck yeah, you know, he works hard. But because Hangman is the new underdog that people love, and he knows AEW, Danielson was top op. And the matches these two had, holy fuck, on TV too, bro. AEW was on fire during this time period, okay? I don't remember when this was. Okay, I'm gonna Google it, but holy shit, this time period of AEW, banger. Now, wrestling overall has a lot of underdogs, specifically AEW, from Hangman to Ricky Saints, I guess now, to Swerve at one point, to Darby Allin, who low-key, once he gets the world title, that will probably be the next huge underdog story once they go down that route. Darby Allin's fucking dope. But there's one man who, I will not lie, okay, I was not sold on till literally maybe this past year when he's gone, okay? But Eddie fucking Kingston is that dude, man. Eddie Kingston is another one of the people's champion, but Eddie is different from Hangman and Danielson though. You see, Eddie Kingston has been around for years, right? And people know about him and his tenacity to never give up or back down from a fight. This has never been an issue for him. He didn't have drinking problems or a corporate boss that was stopping him from getting his goals done. Eddie's issues were always just himself. Eddie's short-temperedness would get in the way of him getting certain wins, and his inability to move on from people will leave him stuck in roads that he can't win from. And the other element to his character is that Eddie Kingston does not get the respect he deserves from his peers, which may be, you know, for his hot-headedness and short-temperedness. It may be because he's a little bit bigger than other people, which shouts out my big boys in wrestling, represent. It may be because Eddie doesn't dress as classy or flashy as everybody else. He dresses to the character he is, you know, of this guy from New York. Don't give a fuck, right? He ain't got much, but he got heart and dog in the fight, and that's really all that matters. And we've seen this from his very long feud with Claudio Castagnoli, and any chance he got to smack him, he's taking it. To the story with CM Punk not respecting him when they shared a locker room, to Chris Jericho even calling him a street thug and that he looks like a jobber. Now, Eddie lost some of these feuds, right? Well, a fucking lot of them, but Eddie started to rack up some wins, you feel me? He started beating some of these people that underrated him and didn't give him his respect. He beat Claudio for the Ring of Honor title, which I was there for live. That pop was fucking nuts. He won the Continental Classic title. He beat Moxley, his former best friend and rival. Didn't give him his props. He beat Kenta for the Strong Openweight Championship. I don't know the story there. I will not lie. But also Eddie getting his own Triple Crown Championship run in honor of his heroes with the, you know, King's Road Triple Crown Championship thing, that is so fucking, I don't know, that shit's awesome to me. I fuck with that. But to get to the point for Eddie Kingston, is Eddie Kingston time and time again has proven to be an underdog and one of the best characters in wrestling in my opinion. Specifically, his story with Bryan Danielson, okay? Eddie Kingston and Danielson go way back like me and you. And Bryan Danielson, you know, he has the rep of one of the greatest of all time. Eddie Kingston, not as much, you know. Danielson tells Eddie he don't respect him, he don't like him, he's just wasted potential. So they meet in the Continental Classic and it took everything. But Eddie does it and he defeats Bryan Danielson, but he still doesn't give him the respect. After Eddie won the Classic, you know what I'm saying, he goes on to face Danielson again, and Eddie beats him again. And after the match, Danielson sticks his hand out, boom, they shake hands. Eddie, in my opinion, is one of the most perfect underdogs in wrestling just because of his story with this constant battle of self-doubt and respect. I know I said the self-doubt thing with Hangman earlier, but with Eddie is different. This one feels more out of respect and honor, you know what I'm saying? And the genius of it being played with Danielson makes it even better, bro. But alright people, it is now time, okay? I'm throwing the lob up off the glass to my boy, the one, the only wrestling and theme park, and I think now basketball content creator, Mr. I Enjoy Garfield.
What it do, flight crew? IEG stand up. What up guys, it's I Enjoy Garfield here on ProGraphs' lovely channel. Now, he wanted me to talk about underdogs, right? And when I thought about underdogs in professional wrestling, who came to mind first? Well, I'm Italian, so the Milan Miracle came to my mind first. I thought in my head, Santino Marella, the Milan Miracle, was the perfect person to talk about for this video. So ProGraphs, thank you so much for having me on this video, and let's get into the Santino. Santino starts off his career, right, by winning the WWE Intercontinental Championship from the crowd. This guy was a fan that came in the ring, beat Umaga clean, and won the Intercontinental Championship day one. If that doesn't signify greatness in professional wrestling, I don't know what does. Did John Cena win a championship his first day on the job? No. Did Cody Rhodes wins? No. He has a combined Intercontinental Championship reign of 162 days. Okay, and he held the US Championship for 167 days. Okay, he is the definition of an underdog. Remember in the Elimination Chamber when he almost beat Daniel Bryan? Remember the Royal Rumble when he almost beat Alberto Del Rio? Santino Marella is the GOAT of underdogs, in my opinion. You can root for him, you want him to win, and he's got the Cobra. Come on, man, he's got the Cobra. But yeah, with that being said, that was my underdog, and Brandon, and Slam Central. Take it away, my man.
I appreciate that, big dog. Yes, you heard that right. Your favorite soon-to-be retired wrestling content creator is here to supply his last flames. You see, these nerds pick people like Hangman Page, Bryan Danielson, Eddie Kingston, and Santino Marella, but me, I actually know ball, and we need to talk about Ezekiel Jackson. This guy was the muscle of core and has one of the hardest theme songs known to man. This here is what you call a domination. This is domination, the sons of procrastination. You telling me that theme song doesn't get you pumped up? You telling me that it doesn't make you want to slap your wrist like the final boss? I'm not afraid to admit that he was one of my favorites to pick in WWE SmackDown vs. Raw 2011. He was my favorite mid-carder who was ass, but little 8-year-old me could give less of a fuck. He had to have the top 5 most boring ring attires because what the fuck did they have my guy wearing out there? Fun fact that I bet you guys never knew. Ezekiel Jackson was brought in as a bodyguard for Brian Kendrick when WWE was trying to push him before failing all those drug tests. Yeah, that's right. They were trying to push Brian Kendrick in the main event scene. Crazy. Alright, let's get back to the topic. I watched a top 10 moves video for this guy and he has no bag. But tell me why he has more moves than the main event headliner of this year's WrestleMania. That's fucking crazy. You see, all it took for me to get behind a big guy back then was for him to be jacked to the gills and having a cool ass theme song. I mean, it was rare seeing black talent get pushed as serious guys back then, so it was cool to see someone of my skin color look like a monster. The reason why this was my guy was because 1, he's black, and 2, this here's what you call domination. It's a domination of something procrastination. Okay, I think I'm getting a little carried away. I'ma need to bring it back to Pro Grippy.
Thank you, Mr. Slam Central NIEG, for the collab. Go shouts out them, go sub to them. They channels is in the description below, my 2 fellow goats. But okay, we're finally getting to the point. Why are underdogs important though? Wrestling underdogs are some of the most important characters in wrestling. You got a wrestling show? Throw some underdogs in that bitch. Why? Because underdogs are relatable and human, okay? Wrestling is scripted, okay? How could they truly be underdogs, Prograps? Because that's the human element that we love, the relatability, that we see ourselves in these characters, the ones that are relatable to us, the people we resonate with and root for, because we as humans know how it feels to be in situations where other people are getting more shine than you, and you may feel like you deserve that shine, or maybe you feel like people are underrating you in something when you know you got a lot to offer. I know I have. I fucking hate my job. That shit sucks, okay? But that's why having these dynamics work in wrestling, okay? Your good guy, bad guy dynamics. That's why having underdogs are so important, because they help create memories and help create some of the best and most wholesome memories in wrestling, right? So, I don't know. Don't be afraid to be an underdog. It's awesome. And, yeah, guys, that will conclude another episode of my Grap Talks. I have been your boy, Prograps. We still got PG updates after this. But if you like what you saw, why not drop a like, comment on the video, and binge watch the rest of the channel. We building up a classic catalog, okay? And last but not least, y'all, subscribe, okay? We on the road to 3K like the greatest rapper of all time. Join the Grappy Corps, man. Come on, what you doing if you ain't in the Prograps Discord, people? But look, all right, it's update time. Okay, so I'm gonna cut straight to it. I'm trying out different types of videos. Y'all saw the Dear Wrestling video. I'm trying out different types of vids. Some where, you know, they're longer, and some big projects like these retrospective videos, and some, you know, short little grap yap type of videos. It may not seem like much, but I don't know. This shit's a lot, okay? And something I just want to let y'all know is that I do not want to be put in a box in terms of like, hey, I'm known as the wrestling retrospective guy, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, I want to make just content specified around wrestling, but content that's like dynamic and not always the same thing, you know what I mean? But I don't know, if you guys like these types of videos and you feel like they're not stagnant or repetitive, I would deeply appreciate it if y'all let me know, because I do not want to do that. But yeah. Oh, more important than, you know, whatever I got going on, thank you guys. Like, genuinely, the support I've gotten from this channel is so fucking crazy to me, bro. I've been making music for so long, and I'll be honest with y'all, the payoff I've gotten from YouTube in terms of just a community and people fucking with it is bigger than anything I've ever done in my life. So I deeply appreciate all y'all, bro, and I love all of you genuinely. Like, I'm so appreciative for y'all. Quick little, I guess, pro-grappy sappy time. So when I was younger, you know what I'm saying, pro-graps, the coolest kid on the playground, of course. No one else really liked wrestling. Did I get bullied for it? Goddamn right I did. So I never really talked about it growing up like that, but my dream was always to build a community of people that liked the shit that I liked, and, you know, it was cool to talk about it with. You know, only people that watched wrestling growing up, me and my brother. That was really it. Didn't have friends that were into wrestling. And to build up a community, not even just the Discord. If you in the Grappy Court, shouts out with you. You already know how much I fuck with you. I let y'all know all the time. But if you are a part of this channel, you're subscribed, you comment, like a video, whatever, even if you just watch, I deeply appreciate you so fucking much. And from the bottom of my heart, thank you for watching. And if you stick around for the next videos and whatever, thank you for staying on this journey with me. And yeah, I appreciate all you guys so fucking much. Yeah, that's really all I got. I still don't got much of an outro, so I'm gonna leave y'all with Pro Graps out.